book lovers, it is G-Swizz here, and I'm here today with my Q2 TBR. I love making quarterly TBR videos. They're very fun. Right now, I'm not in the funnest mental state, however. If you have watched my April TBR video, you might know that at the moment I am struggling to be emotionally available to some of my books. I've been struggling with this problem since the beginning of this year and since the end of last year, and I believe that's because work has just been taking up a lot of my mental energy, and I just really want to be able to put my emotions back into reading again. I'm reading a lot more manga this year to kind of fill that void, and I'm getting very emotionally attached to some of the anime that I have been watching, but I have been struggling with some books this year, and I do want to read more romantasy, fantasy romance. However, I do not want to risk reading fantasy romance and unfortunately not being emotionally connected to it. That's what I've really struggled with this year so far. Even though there has been an exception here or there, unfortunately I've not experienced the ultimate book hangover as a result of being emotionally attached. I've just been feeling hungover by the fact that my mental energy has been sucked out of me due to different areas of my life. This might affect me within this full quarter. Yes, I did do my April TBR, but this TBR consists of books I want to get to in April, May, and June. So I pretty much compiled this TBR to accommodate how I'm feeling right now, in the hopes that, fingers crossed, I can jumpstart my love and enjoyment for reading some of the genres that I used to read again. So I guess without further ado, I'm gonna get straight into this TBR. I've got some books that I want to read in the lead up to an anticipated release. I have some anticipated releases as well, and I have some manga. So let's dive in. So the first title I have to mention on my quarterly TBR is Lore Olympus Volume 6. This actually comes out in May of this year, and I cannot wait. Unfortunately, as I'm filming this right now, I have not pre-ordered it because I can't pre-order the US edition until it goes on sale. It's really annoying. Only the UK edition in my market is available for pre-order, and honestly, if I would have known there was a difference between the two editions, then I would not have purchased the first volume of Lore Olympus in the US edition. Unfortunately, I did. I purchased it from Kino and they got imported editions, and now I'm having to purchase the US edition. Anyway, that is a side tangent. Right now I have not pre-ordered it, but as soon as the US edition goes on sale, I can actually go ahead and order it. So I'm very much looking forward to getting to this one. I might not be able to start reading it in May as a result, but I'm hoping to get to this one at least in June. I just love this story so much. I know that it is a slow burn. I know that it's slower paced, but I am eating up the friendships in this series. I love the character interactions, and I love how the series makes me feel, even though I feel kind of emo. I mean, I am kind of emo at the moment, so it kind of works. I don't know, I feel as if this series is somewhat therapeutic for me. Maybe it's because at times I feel as if it meets me where I'm at, but at the very same time, it does break my heart. Like, I do feel heartbroken for some of these characters. And another anticipated release that is coming out within this quarter is Only End Forever by Chloe Leese. This is the 7th and final book in the Bergman Brothers series. Oh, okay. So thinking about this book, I'm getting a little emotional because I actually started reading this book series around the time that book 6 came out, which was like this time last year. And then I reread this book series this year, and I love it even more upon reread. This series means a lot to me, and I feel kind of emotional right now because this book series is finally gonna come to its conclusion. Vigo is finally going to have his own book. I am so excited. As I'm filming this right now, I have not purchased the Afterlight exclusive editions, but as soon as they were announced, I freed up an entire shelf to put them on that shelf. I am just so excited to receive those editions. I'm excited to receive my copy of Only End Forever. I am so excited to read Vigo's love story. Definitely one of my most anticipated releases of the year, hands down. Chloe Leese is definitely one of my favorite romance authors of all time, and the Bergman Brothers series is probably my favorite contemporary romance series at the moment. It's so good. I highly recommend this series. Everybody must read it. I will not stop raving about this book series on my channel and in real life. Like, I'm literally pushing this book series on my work colleagues now, like they're pushing book series on me. I swear, it's so good. The next book that I've placed on my quarterly TBR for Q2 is Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is the 3rd book in the Maple Hills series, and if you guys don't happen to know what the Maple Hills series is, first book is Icebreaker, second book is Wildfire, and Daydream is finally gonna come out. I'm so excited about this one. I just want more books in the series, in this world. I want more books from Hannah Grace because honestly, she has not missed so far, and I don't think that Daydream is gonna miss. I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready to cry, I'm ready to giggle and kick my feet up in the air because honestly, that is how I feel when I'm reading a good Hannah Grace romance. So cannot wait to get to this one and we'll see how we go with it. The next book slash series that I've placed on my quarter 2 TBR is Kaiju No. 8. This is a manga series that is being adapted into an anime, and the anime actually comes out in April and I cannot wait. I've actually started the series and I am loving it so far. It's so good. I am honestly struggling to find the words right now. What I can say though is that while I was reading Kaiju No. 8, the first volume, it gave me the nostalgia of when I first started reading Chainsaw Man. Like as soon as I read the first scene in Chainsaw Man where Denji gets his powers and everything, that immediately got me invested in the series, and I felt the exact same way with the events of Kaiju No. 8, how everything started here, the backstory and everything. I am so attached to Kafka already, and I love the side characters, I love following them. It's just very well done. The mangaka did an excellent job with the panels in this, and I cannot wait to continue on with the story. I'm hoping that the anime meets my expectations because the manga is just really good. It's very well illustrated, very well paced, and I'm just seriously hoping that the anime captures that very well. I cannot wait to watch the anime and I cannot wait to continue on with the series. So far, so good. And the next book that I have placed on my quarter 2 TBR is The Wolf and the Wildflower by Ella Fields. This is the sequel and the finale in the Faded Fae series. It's actually a companion sequel. I believe we're following a different couple altogether, but it takes place within the same world. I actually intended to read this at the end of 2023 in the hopes that I would have added it to my completed series of 2023. That did not happen, so I'm hoping to add this to my completed series of 2024. I did enjoy the first book, but I did not love it. Like, it was not my favorite book, and it wasn't even my favorite book by Ella Fields. I did love Kingdom of Villains much better than The Savage and the Swan, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I will enjoy The Wolf and the Wildflower even more than the first book, especially because I have these beautiful Fake Rate exclusive editions. Like, this is gorgeous. I want to love this series. I want to be head over heels for the series, so I'm hoping that this standalone companion book will be enough to redeem the series in full for me. And another manga series that I eventually want to get to that I've decided to place on my Q2 TBR is A Sign of Affection. I've wanted to read this for a while. As soon as I saw the beautiful manga art on the cover, like I just really wanted to collect these. And my lovely cousin Adam, when he came to Sydney from Adelaide, decided to get me a beautiful Christmas gift. Actually, I got him some manga for his Christmas gift and he wanted to repay me, so we went to Kinokuniya and he told me I could choose anything from the shelves, and I really wanted to get Sign of Affection, so he purchased me the first 7 volumes in this series. I'm so thankful to my cousin for providing these to me. I cannot wait to get to these. I actually wanted to start reading the series before the anime came out, and now the anime is out. And I don't know why. I'm holding myself back from watching the anime. Like, I really want to watch the anime because it looks so good and very well animated as well. Like, I'm seeing clips and memes everywhere on my feed and I really just want to watch it, but there's part of me that's holding myself back from watching it before reading the manga. I feel as if I should start watching more anime before reading the manga, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it, but I know from so many people that this manga and anime is so good. So I honestly cannot wait to explore the series either through the manga or the anime or through both. I mean, I have the manga, so I'm definitely not going to waste the opportunity. I'm definitely not going to like shelve it and not visit it ever. I do plan on reading this series, and maybe, just maybe, I might watch the anime and then get to the point where, you know, we're at the end of the season and I might pick it up from there, or I might do the opposite. I might read the manga and then go straight into the anime to see how everything was perfectly adapted. I am quite easy with it, but I just need to get to it, honestly, because I've been putting this series off for a while. I've had the series on my shelves since Christmas, so it needs to be read at some point. Oh my goodness, I am so excited for this. Okay, so one of my favorite books of 2023 is getting a sequel in 2024, and this series just so happens to be from my favorite author, and that is Laura Falasa. So I'm planning to reread Bewitched by Laura Falasa in the hopes that I can read it in the lead up to Bespelled, which comes out within this quarter. I am so pumped for Bespelled. I am so pumped to reread Bewitched. Bewitched, I do have to say, was not the strongest first book in a Laura Falasa series. Like, it was a pretty strong, solid first book. However, if I was to compare this to Rhapsodic, I'd be like, yeah, not as great. But it was still a very strong start to a series. It definitely laid a solid foundation for where the series is gonna go, and I think that the sequel is going to be 5 stars, okay? It is a 5-star prediction. I'm setting myself up for something. I don't know if I'm setting myself up for failure or if I am setting myself up just to be pumped and then be on a high the entire time. The roller coaster will only just keep going up, okay? And speaking of roller coasters, this right here was a roller coaster of emotions. Like, at times I did not know who to trust. I did not know what was going down. I was confused the entire time while reading Bewitched, and then when I finished it, I was like, oh my goodness, I need the sequel right now. I'm hoping that the sequel gives us answers. I'm looking forward to reading the prequel as well because I need to get the backstory behind what went on. I have to be vague because if I say something, then everyone's gonna get spoiled, and I don't want everyone to get spoiled. So I'm just being very vague right now, but I am just super pumped for Bespelled. I cannot wait for it. It's definitely one of my most anticipated releases of the year as well. I think that and the Chloe Lease release, definitely my top 2 at the moment. And you know what I also recently found out? I found out that there's going to be a new book within this companion series right here. So I decided that I wanted to reread The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy within this quarter. I personally remember really enjoying this book, but I do remember it taking a while for me to enjoy it. It was a slow burn, but once it started getting good, it got really good. Like, I really loved this book, and I still think about it fondly, which is great. But it did take around 100 pages to fully sink my teeth into it. I'm wondering how long it will take this time. I'm a little bit afraid to revisit it only because at the moment I am struggling mentally and I am struggling to invest myself in some good stories. I'm really hoping I am able to push past that and actually really enjoy this book. Maybe this is the kind of book I need during this time. Maybe something that starts off soft and cozy but then eventually gets a little dark might be the way to go. Hello, it's me again, but from the future. So as I was editing the quarterly TBR video, I had realized that the final series that I mentioned actually had its finale pushed out, and I only found that out after filming the video. So I initially put the Flesh and Fire series by Jennifer L. Armentrout onto my quarterly TBR because I was anticipating the final book to be out in May, but it's been pushed out to August. So I am personally planning to push out my reread of the first 2 books and the initial read of the second 2 books in the series to my quarter 3 TBR. So no worries about it in quarter 2. I'm not going to pressure myself to go through the entire series and painfully wait for the final book. Because I hear that the ending of book 3 is tragic. So we're just gonna push that out for the time being. But I am planning to complete another series within this quarter. Right here I have Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. And this for me is quite an unusual situation because I am usually one to binge read things. But I have mentioned previously that I am struggling to get into romantasy reads and stay focused on those romantasy reads. And unfortunately, I have not had the best experience with Vow of Thieves. I really loved Dance of Thieves. I was really enjoying it. But the first third of this book is painful. And if you have read this book, you would know exactly why. I have thankfully made it up to the point where things are shifting, but the first third of this book was just so painful. And I was just thinking, at the point of the time that I was reading it, I couldn't do it. I could not push my way through this book. I needed to read the rest of the book at the right time. So I think that the right time is within this quarter somewhere. I am not finding that I am not interested in the story. I am interested in the story. It's just for some reason I was not ready to endure the slowness and the painfulness of the first part of this book at the time that I read it. And now that I'm at the point of the story where there is a light at the end of the tunnel, I know for a fact that things are gonna get better and that I am probably gonna enjoy the rest of the book. Fingers crossed I will finish this within the quarter. I think it's best to finish finish it within this quarter because I don't want to have to go back and reread this book like somewhere a year or 2 years down the line. No, I want to finish this book because right now the first third of this book is still fresh in my head. I'm planning to do that sometime soon. Back to past G-Swizz with the outro. And that is going to be it for this video today, book lovers. If you happen to stay to the end of the video, leave me the purple heart emoji. And if you happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Join the amazing community of book lovers. And also I have social medias. I'm at itsgswizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. And finally, I'm at TikTok. I'm at gswizzle on TikTok if you want to follow me there for some bookish content. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double.